All right, so this video is for excerpt 1, 2, and 3 of the 11-12 All-State Bass Audition. I'm playing all of these in the same video because they're all out of the same piece, Jupiter from the Planets. I'm just going to go through with some of my thoughts about these first, and then I'll play them at tempo. So this first one, it's really about making a big sound. Make sure that you've listened to this piece. If you do, you'll hear this theme a billion times played over. So here we go. We've got a pizzicato at the beginning. Judges may ask for it, they may not. They may just want you to start right on the lick. But 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so when you're playing these 16th notes in here, they have staccato markings, and for a lot of orchestral literature, that would mean that we would take our bow off the string, kind of bounce a little bit. But with Holst, this is supposed to be very heavy, so we want to leave our bow glued to the string. I would do some practice of just working on that stroke by itself at the tempo that your goal is. Because the judges will be impressed by the people that can play it cleanly, but at a really robust volume. So we want it all. What typically happens is when we try and play on the string like that quickly, we let up on sound. So just practicing this. Find where it's comfortable in the bow for you. Now, a rhythmic thing that's challenging is here is the first time we have this bum bum, we've got that syncopation happening there, but at the beginning of the second line we don't have syncopation, and we don't want to accidentally mess that up. Okay, you land right on the beat for the ba-da-da-da-dum, bum-bum. And then from there, if you have an extension, I would encourage you to use it for that dropped note. I'm going to play this lick again, now with the extended note. We've got a D down there, and you can hear the difference. Mishap, but that'll be okay. It doesn't make a huge difference. If you're not doing the extension note, what I would do is land on second position for the G sharp so that you've got your fourth finger ready for the D. For the fingering of that little arpeggio up before that, I go 2, 0, 2, 1, 4, and then I go up the D string because I want a really fat sound, and on a lot of basses the G string just doesn't sound as beefy as the D. And you got to play a closed G at the end of that lick. If you end with an open G, just does not feel as conclusive. Okay, moving on to the next one. The challenge in excerpt number 2 is really just the key signature. We do have some E's in here. Please remember that we are in the key of E flat, and so you cannot play open E's. You're just going to move that note up the octave. So I'm going to start this in 2nd and a half position and do some rotating here between 2nd and a half and 2nd for a little while. just tip, I use my harmonics to find positions. You may be familiar with those tuning notes, but if I get my second finger on that E string tuning note, that's how I'm going to set up for this. Okay, so I started in second and a half, pivoted back to second for the G, pivoted back up to second and a half, up to third, pivot for the B flat. And by the way, anytime you have a 3-note passage like this, E flat, G, B flat, this is a major arpeggio. Maybe you've learned some theory in your classes along the way. Anytime I see a major arpeggio like this, I use the same fingering. So here we've got an E flat major arpeggio, 2, 1, pivot to 4. You can do this with C major, D major, E flat. You get the picture, but having a rule for yourself like that will help you do good fingerings on the fly. So. Not a whole lot to this other than just playing in tune with a great sound. Okay, excerpt number 3, we've got a meter change in here, and I want to, before I start playing this, because nerves will get the best of you in audition, think about what's happening where it says lento maestoso. This is a main theme in Jupiter. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to use that to get the tempo at the beginning. Bum, 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 bum. Ya, da, dum, ba, da, 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 da. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ready, set, and. All right, so we've got that transition, and we go from 64 being our dotted half note, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 2, and 3, and bum, 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 bum. So it's kind of a challenging transition. Make sure that you find this spot in a recording and work on it. Then looking at the very end of this, notice that it says accelerando. You've got 2 dotted half notes. So you're going to indicate this accelerando by where you change the bow. Make sure that you change your bow right on the beat. We've got a tricky key signature at the lento maestoso. So make sure that you caught all of these sharps. We've got a D sharp at the beginning. I go to half position for B, A sharp, first, and then for this A sharp, I'm going to go down to second and half position on the E string so that the A sharp and the G sharp are in the same place. And you don't have to shift up for the D sharp here. You can go first half position. 2, Okay, this lick now with an extension, if you have one, make sure that you've got it closed for a D sharp, or if you don't have stoppers like mine. See how I've got that accelerando, and they should be able to hear it by the place that you change your bow. So there are those 3 excerpts. Good luck.